SB 386 would allow the Turlock and Modesto irrigation districts, which jointly own the Don Pedro hydroelectric project, to recognize as renewable the hydroelectric power they generate to meet the renewable procurement requirements. This is a district bill, and the intent is to provide economic relief and equity to these irrigation districts and their ratepayers that already produce zero carbon energy. Last year, new renewable energy requirements were passed into law with SB 100. The requirements dictate that renewable energy sold to retail end user customers increase until they reach 100% zero carbon electricity by 2045. The goals are laudable and worthy, but the current system has inequities that we should not ignore, and they've been historical inequities since the RPS system was designed. Turlock Irrigation District and Modesto Irrigation District first began providing carbon-free hydroelectric energy to customers in 1923, generated from the jointly owned and operated Don Pedro Reservoir. In 1971, new Don Pedro construction was completed to increase plant capacity. Despite owning this resource, Turlock Irrigation District was required to build a 54-megawatt solar power plant in January 2017 in order to meet their RPS requirements. This solar plant cost $150 million over 20 years. Likewise, since 2012, Modesto Irrigation District has invested $60 million in capital for the McHenry solar power plant. These investments were required solely because hydroelectric power generated at the new Don Pedro is not recognized in the RPS. The district estimates that failure to count this hydroelectric production will cost over $100 million in order to reach their 2030 goals, and the risks associated with these capital expenditures are undertaken directly by ratepayers in a region consistently considered economically disadvantaged. At current energy rates, Turlock Irrigation District will need to invest $300 million more over the next 20 years to meet their requirements. Both districts are forced to make massive capital investment in unnecessary projects for them, while simultaneously devaluing its own renewable energy source. To be clear, these irrigation districts provide water and electricity to the ratepayers. The energy produced by the solar purchases is not needed for them to meet their ratepayers' needs. This diverts ratepayer money from staying in the local economy and instead sends it out of the region to solar energy producers. Energy costs are the highest in the Central Valley, where it is very hot in the summer and very cold in the winter, and the tiered rate system hurts poor ratepayers the most. Additionally, Turlock Irrigation District is one of 8 balancing authorities in the state and has to balance retail demand, generation, and must maintain reliability. Both solar and wind energy are intermittent sources and cannot provide the reliability that they really need. Turlock and Modesto irrigation districts would have to secure additional energy they do not need simply to meet the new mandate. Instead of locking up money now for solar that the districts must then sell off at a loss, allowing their hydro to count will free up ratepayer funds to go towards getting them to their 100% carbon-free and grid reliability, like storage. SB 386 is a narrow bill that will bring much-needed economic relief to communities in the Central Valley. I ask you to consider that California produces much solar energy that it has to pay other states to take it to avoid an overload. Solar isn't going anywhere. Last year, the state approved that all new houses must have solar panels. They will still have to meet the 100% zero carbon energy mandate by 2045. I respectfully ask for an aye vote.